Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. Sunday college basketball action. We've got Temple and Houston battling it out in the American Athletic Conference. And guys, for me, this is going to be a free play for me. This one is all about value. I'm looking at this Temple team, and I think we're going to get value. They just got drilled. We're taping on Thursday. They played Wednesday night. They played Villanova team, which it's an out-of-conference game. It was a big game for them. One, because Villanova is highly ranked. Two, also because it's the Big Five matchup. You know, the teams out of Philadelphia, always the rivalry. So, you know, first thought would be, hey, you know, maybe they're going to be flat off of this one. And, you know, I'm a situational guy. You know, play Villanova, they lose, and are they going to come out flat? But they're not going to come out flat for two reasons. One, their main goal was to win the conference. They're in first place right now, and they got some teams nipping on their heels, so they're not going to look past anybody. They're especially not going to look past Houston, who came into their building earlier in the season in a really bad spot for Temple, and I'll talk about that later, and smacked them by 27 points. So you're going to get Temple's best effort here. Yeah,
a team that gets embarrassed on their home court in a game, especially – They're pretty equal teams. You know, it's not a big mismatch. So if it's a big mismatch, that's one thing. But when you get two teams that are pretty equal and one of them comes in and just blows them out, we saw that with UNLV and Air Force. Not quite in that situation, but UNLV just embarrassed them. And then that's all the coach talked about when Air Force beat UNLV last time.
No, I think it's a good point. I actually, while you were speaking, I was going to bring up that UNLV Air Force idea. I think Air Force lost by 36 in Vegas. And granted, UNLV had a couple injuries since then, but still to go into Air Force as 8-point favorites and lose outright, that's pretty telling. And I think, yeah, you might have something similar here with Temple.
And if you go back to, and I always like to when we get these second meetings, that's my favorite time of the college basketball season. And you've got, if you look at when they played the first time, it was a horrible spot for Temple. They just came off a big road win as an 11.5-point underdog. They went into Cincinnati and won outright. Then they came home to play Houston. Now, Temple's new to the conference and everything, so you don't have the rivalries yet in this conference. But they had up after the Houston game, they had Connecticut up next. So you're coming off that big blowout of Cincinnati, who has been a perennial, you know, good basketball team the last several years. And then you got Connecticut, you know, a former Big East power coming in there after that. I just think they weren't ready for Houston. The game got out of hand, spiraled out of control, lose by 27. They got the rematch circled on their calendar for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And Houston's not a bad team. I think that's what really the point is if you're not ready for someone like Houston, they're gonna take advantage of it. And so in this case, that's what they're going to be focused on. And they're probably going to be, I don't know if you had a number set up for this game or not that you're hoping to play on, but I expect them to probably be short underdogs. Yeah. And so, yeah, you'll be getting some value, and they should win the game.
You know, I like them in a revenge spot. You know, the points are a bonus. I actually have Temple winning the game by 3, so any points are going to be a bonus here. They should be probably 3.5. I'm hoping to get, but if I'm getting anything since I've got them winning outright, I like them in Houston. Right now, you talk about, you know, stock. The stock on Houston's really high right now because they've had some nice wins in the last couple games, and I think given that they're coming in here winning and people are going to look to that first meeting and say, how's Temple going to turn around 27 points? You lose by 27 on your home floor, and now you're going to the other team's building. That's another one of my little pet angles. I like to take the road dog in revenge. When you lost and whenever it was as bad as that, it just becomes bonus because it's added revenge factor. So we're going to go ahead, make it official, take Temple plus the points on Sunday as our free play. And guys, baseball season's coming up, and in the coming weeks we'll start doing some baseball predictions. I'm sure Mr. Leonard will start bringing in some baseball season win totals for us. Atlantis, one of your favorite sports books up in Reno, put their numbers out earlier in the week, and then Golden Nugget put theirs out, I believe, yesterday or the day before.
12 days ago, yep.
Yeah, got their season win totals out, and I saw already there were some that were three win
differentials, yeah.
From
4.5, yeah.
Atlantis to Golden Nugget.
Golden Nugget did a little better job, I'll just say that now, than Reno did.
Well, that's why Atlantis is one of Brian's favorite sports books.
To give Atlantis the credit, and I give it to the Gold Nugget when they come out for the games of the year. If you're first, you are going to make more mistakes, but somebody's got to be first, and you got to give them credit for that.
All right, so check that out in the coming weeks. And right now, to get you in the spirit of baseball, $300 off season package right now. It's an early bird. It's the lowest price you'll see. The regular price for the season of baseball is $10.95. If you do it right now, get an early jump on the baseball season, just $7.95. Pick your favorite capper and jump on board for the season. That's it for this week. Be sure to tune in next week. And don't forget, we have the Beat Vegas podcast. That'll be up at the site Thursday night. Check that out with Scott Spreitzer and some guests. I'll be on as well. And you can check that out at WagerTalk.com. Thanks for tuning in.